for me, during that period of time, I can say that I was so busy with online activities. I still remember at the first lockdown, still remember that one when I was asked to perform tapi with one of the programs lah. Tapi is the Lumbawang two-string instrument. One of the NGO program that called Festival Duduk Rumah. It's something like, wow, I never never dream of this, that I can perform tapi, and I perform tapi, I still remember it's on 22nd March, meaning that is in the second weeks of, I think in the first week of our MCO. Besides that, there's other commitment that is related to the ministry lah, Bible study, also on. But guess what? During this first 14 days of period of MCO, I read the whole Bible in Alkitab Besi Borneo ABB translation in just 14 days, which average of 84 chapters a day, something like that. And how I did it? Yeah, you can ask me how I did it. And for your information, there's 1,189 chapters, the whole Bible that we have. So beside there's the online ministry that we have during that time, just because of this festival Duduk Rumah, right? Then I feel like I need to upgrade my what I so call is my mini home studio. After that, I call it a digital audio workplace. I upgrade here and there, and then until during this MCO as well, I had produced my full album of tapi actually, which is just released last year, 2021. So that is like, wow, I didn't realize that it's slowly growing, become my home studio. Then I produce myself my full tapi tune. Then during this MCO, so I managed to not only producing my tapi album, but at the same time, got the surprise, construction of my tapi workshop at my home backyard. So I did it myself, just bought the material over online and then they send it to my home. I call it from learning into practical adventurous, where today is part of survival in the ministry. We need to move on lah. I have a tagline after I discover of our Lumbawang, my tribes or Lumbawang, call myself, I need to revive and to reintroduce this musical instrument. So it's like a part of my ministry, right? Even when I share about how we need to revive our faith, how we need to revive the way we are reading or study the Bible. So it's something that related, or that's in relationship with what I'm doing in the ministry as well. There's no words give up in reviving and reintroduce what you are love to do, or same goes with your work life or in your faith. When I with the student in the ministry, so it's like something like survival during this period of time, or during like this pandemic, something like teaching us this how we survival in the life or even in the ministry. For those who know me, I'm a outdoor person. I like to do outdoor activities, and of course like to meet people physically, not online. Okay, but yes, this pandemic really a huge challenge for me personally during this time. I remember as a follow-up of the festival Duduk Rumah, and then I sign up for lari ke sana ke sini, which I need to run in our own house compound. Can you imagine that I ran for about 30 minutes as my own car porch, and I told myself crazy, just like a left rep. So the struggle for me is, the challenges for me is how I need to adapt with that new norm, which is I'm an outward person. I like to do outdoor activities, but during the pandemic, so there's a limitation for us to go out. I feel like I need nature at least, or I need to go out, breathe the fresh air outside there, so that it feel like refreshing me and bring back my attention to God lah. I think before toward the end of the last year, most important for me during that time is if I lost the loved one, my intermediate family members or my family members. So this is very difficult, and I experienced that not only once, but during past 2 years. My grandma, uncle, cousins, and even my brothers-in-law passed on. During this very strict movement, and we couldn't give our last respect to them. It's really sad. So that's something that I'm so worried during that time, but it's happened. I think all of them, the 5 of them, I couldn't make it because of restricted movement order that we had during that time. Okay, besides praying all these things now, or reading the Bible, I think like I mentioned just now, when I'm more outdoor person, doing outdoor activities, outward person, that is like a starting point for me to continue running even in my car Porsche. It's more of my how I overcome it. It's more on to express myself in outdoors activities which I love. Actually, it's helped me to overcome all the anxiety, fears, and everything during that situation lah. And I can say that just to keep myself fit and stay active. In the other word, what busy lah, something like that. But at the same time, what things that I really miss is to meet our student physically. Actually, that's why when I heard about the 1st April. What is happening, and then I heard how Sarawak take the 1st April. So I'm happy to hear that. So that there's like opportunity to meet, especially our student face to face. Yeah, actually I did meet our student face to face for the CF this March 2022. I met them. So that was my first after 2 years of pandemic and stay at home. I think it's not the one verse lah, but it's one from one book, from the book of Habakkuk, chapter 1. So I took that as my how God speak to me personally. My question that time is, I still remember, I asked God, why you allow this happen to us? So that's my question, and then God leads me to Habakkuk, and very interesting in the book of Habakkuk. And I still remember also in the first years of our pandemic, MCO, AVS has organized one conference, then we also study the book of Habakkuk. So since then I put myself at Habakkuk stories and how God speak to Habakkuk during his time, and then relate to what is happening today for me personally, and as well to answer my question to God, why he allowed this happen. Thank you.